she wasn't available. I got her message machine. This other guy, he was interested in Masani, which he's saying he's probably going to get it closed. So, find out what else he wants and see if we can
make an appointment and show it to him.
You want to, even though he's going to close?
Well, I mean, it's not 100%.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, not a problem.
I don't have a check in my hand yet.
Yeah. Right, until it's under contract.
When I get a check in my hand, it's off the books.
Okay. This guy wants just an email packet. He called twice. He's looking for a 3 to 4 bedroom and wants an email application package.
We've got one coming up.
Okay, good. Then there's another girl, she wants a 4 to 5 bedroom.
Okay, I don't have time right now to go over all of them. But
right, but I hadn't been able to talk to hardly any of them to find out whether they're prospects or...
Okay, so basically you took the first step was to call and leave messages with them.
Yes.
Okay. The main thing is that we follow up on them because Ron says 80% of your sales is going to come from the follow-ups.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, I plan on following up with all of them today.
Okay. Okay. What did you get done yesterday, Chris?
Yesterday I did, in between the time that I left you about 12:30 and then came back, I don't know what time that was, to get the keys. Found some more FSBOs, and then, man, I bet I fielded 25 calls yesterday about the houses on Craigslist. So it was a lot of playing the weed out game.
When you say 25 calls, who was you calling?
No, they were calling me.
Oh, okay. From my ads you put on. Okay.
I weeded a lot of them out, but I've got one showing at each of the 3 houses today. One showing on Gordon.
You had a class mark next to Blackwell. Is it confirmed then?
Yes. I need to call her and double confirm, but yeah.
You got...
I got showing at Gordon, showing at Blackwell, and showing at Masani. And then...
I see, what did you say, Gordon.
Right, and...
When's your Gordon?
1.
1 p.m. Okay. And Masani?
Masani's at 4.
Did you show that last night?
I did, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute.
Okay.
And
which other one?
Blackwell's at 5.
Blackwell.
Okay. The Masani deal. I met with the lady that we talked to on the phone the other day.
Right.
And her husband had to work late, so he couldn't come. But I got a feeling, had he been there, they would have stroked a check last night.
Okay. For your guys' knowledge, always ask if your husband or wife's going to join you, because I need both. I don't show it twice, I show it once.
Right. Well, I mean, the plan was the whole time for them both to come up. It was just a last minute thing.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, she was almost ready to stroke a check by herself last night. Okay. And deal with her husband later.
And what was they wanting to do on that house?
That was the one that we offered.
Okay.
So I got another showing on that, like I said, today at 4.
Okay.
So if I can't get them to buy it, I got a feeling I could just call this other lady that I showed you last night.
Get her husband in there.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I'm hoping to get that off the books by tomorrow. Okay. Now, you touched on a minute ago, if they're ready, they just stroke a check and we...
Just have them write you a deposit check to hold the property, to show their sincerity.
Right.
And then they can come up with the rest when we sign the contracts.
Okay.
And do they write the check to Town and Country?
Yep.
Okay.
Town and Country Properties, Inc.
Okay. I know we talked about 2,000 down. What would you want them to stroke a check for? Like 1,000, 500?
Yeah, 1,000.
Okay.
Is that the best they can do though?
I need to talk to them about that, but I think...
What have we got on the board as far as the option fee? Because that's what we're doing, right? It's an option?
Option, well, we told them we were going to rent it out to them for a year and give them a year to come up with the owner financing.
On an option.
Right.
At least with the option to purchase.
Yeah, it was 3,500 on the board.
35 on the board. See if we can get on at 2,500.
I'll give it a shot.
3,000. Tell them you don't think you can get it done for less than 3,000. Can they do any better than 2?
Okay.
Just tell them, say, give me something to go back to my partner with so I can get this pushed through for you.
Right. If they came back and said, because we had told them two down and $575 a month, if they did like 2,500 down and 550 a month, could you live with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
All right.
Do you guys, when you're out doing these, you guys probably should take a receipt book with you. That way
Okay.
you can give them a receipt, they feel comfortable by getting a receipt.
Right.
Because I personally wouldn't just go in some empty house and write out a check and hope that the guy was.
Right.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm the buyer and I've never been to his office.
Right.
You know, Joe McCall out of St. Louis, he done a lot of axe deals.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost an axe deal because he met a guy he went and showed the house, and then a couple of days later, the guy called him up and said, well, I'll do it, and it was a $5,000, you know, assignment fee. He said, I'd like to go ahead and lease that house that I looked at the other day, and Joe said, well, I'll just meet you at the McDonald's at Chesterfield, Missouri, which is a suburb right there close to where he targets. And the guy showed up and says, do you got an office? And Joe said, no. And the guy blew the deal off because Joe didn't have an office. So he didn't think Joe was legit. But always take a receipt book with you. They're inexpensive, Walmart's or the office store or whatever.
Sure.
Give them a receipt for whatever it is. That way you've got a copy and they've got a copy. That way if there's ever any question as to what they actually give us, then we've got proof.
Right. Right.
And we always stick it right in their folder. What else? Anything else? Your manual?
I touched on it. I'll have that done in the next couple days.
Okay.
And I also emailed you the links to those ads.
Yeah, I seen them in there. I just didn't take time to open them last night.
Did you get the ones that I sent you?
I seen yours.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
I just didn't take the time to open them last
That's-
night. And I meant
that's
to get in there and do it this morning, and then I was messing with trying to get a video up for us.
Right.
Video training this morning.
Well, mine are just generic because I hadn't had a chance to go and look at the houses, so I couldn't
Right.
actually advertise
Right.
them. But
Okay.
and the open house one I did was about the house that I was looking at because I knew it so well.
Out of what you guys have just heard, do you got any questions on anything that we've discussed so far, Lucy? Kathy?
I had some questions for Lucy, but I think we can figure them out here.
Okay.
Are we going to go over the spreadsheet that you sent us?
I can't hear you, Lucy. Speak up.
Are you
Spreadsheet.
going to go over the Massani
The what?
spreadsheet that you sent?
The what?
3006 Massani? Maybe Shannon can call me, or I'll call Shannon.
Did you get them printed out,
Massani.
Lucy?
That's what she's asking about.
Yeah, that's what she's asking over.
Yeah.
Going over those.
All right. Here we go, guys.
Hold on, Lucy. Gotta put you on speaker. There you go. Are we ending the video then?
No,
No.
just mute it. Mute it.
Okay. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that on this.
Oh, come
Okay, can you hear us now?
Yes.
on.
Okay, yeah, we haven't sent it out.
Okay, I want to go over the 70% loan to value house deal calculator. It's pretty straightforward. It's a calculator that you'll get on your flash drives. It's what I use most of the time when I'm dealing with single family houses. All the yellow highlighted things you can go in and change, like the asking price, the after repair value, and what you actually purchased the property for.
Right.
You want to be at 70%, and I put 70% of the asking price because at 70% you can get a hard money loan from just about any hard money lender out there. When you go through the house, you can just kind of write down each living room or each room what the expense on repairs is going to be. It gives you a total automatically, and then it tells you what your MAO, your maximum allowable offer, is. You never start at your maximum allowable. If you go in at 54.9, it leaves no room for negotiations. Start about 10% lower than that at 49,410. And then on the bottom part there is just figuring the resale, what the commissions are going to cost. That one's pretty straightforward. I went and looked at, I had 3 houses scheduled yesterday to look at with Amy, the realtor. I looked at 2 houses. One house, when we pulled up to it, I just told her I didn't want to own houses in that neighborhood. This is the little fast calculator that I use to come up with a offer for Amy. If they're asking $39,900, I'll take 20% off of that. Comes down to $31,920. And then I take the rehab, $25,000. After repairs value is $85,000. Take 10% holding costs, closing costs off of that. It'll bring you down to what you can or can't make. We don't do anything normally for under $15,000. It gives us a safety barrier. I say $15,000. The one that we're closing on the end of the month, it was figured at a $15,000 profit, and it come out to be $92,000. So if you go much lower than 15, you're gonna maybe break even. But I've got it to where on the calculators, the only numbers you want to change are the numbers that are in yellow. So that's pretty simple. Using them formulas, we looked at a house at 2758 Jackson Street here in St. Joe. It's a big, huge house. It's got a 2-car garage, listed for $76,000. My estimate is about $35,000 in repairs, and Amy said she could resell it fixed up for $115,000. So with them numbers, you can run that quick calc and shoot her back an offer within 24 hours.
Right.
I am going to make an offer on the 2 that I walked through. The second one that I walked through would be a real quick flip. Carpet and paint, basically all there is to it. About $20,000 rehab. It's listed for $70,000. She said once it's fixed up, she could resell it for mid-80s, about 85. So if you get it bought right, there's enough in it to mess with.
Okay.
Anybody got any questions? Nobody? Am I really that good, or just this simple?
Simple.
Simple, okay. I'm going to set up with Amy to go through 2 or 3 houses middle of next week to the end of next week, sometime of a morning for our training period. I want to take you guys through and show you how simple it is to estimate repairs. I used to go through with a notebook and 2 or 3 pages, and I'd write everything down and waste an hour in each house. Now you can walk through in about 5 minutes and have an estimate. The way Ron teaches it. You go in 5,000 increments. You walk into the kitchen, oh, that's 5,000. You walk into the bathroom, that's 2,500. You know, you add it all up in your head, and when you're done, you just write it on your MLS sheet like I did. And then you come back to the office, and of course you ask your realtor, or if your realtor's showing you the property, you ask them what they can resell it for after it's fixed up. She's got a good idea. Your realtor should have a good idea of what they can resell it for and how quickly.
Right.
When you're just out looking at a home with a homeowner, you gotta come back and do your due diligence and plug it into the computer and see what the average for that area is on
Right.
resale. And that's not gonna give you a true estimate because you ain't gonna know whether them houses was fixed up or they was dated and needed to be fixed up. But it'll give you a ballpark to where you can kinda work from. Got any questions?
My questions are more about how you go about, because I know you said these were HUD houses, correct? So is there a lot of red tape that goes with HUD houses and like foreclosures, pre-foreclosures?
There's a little bit, but not a lot.
Okay. Because I've seen a lot of pre-foreclosures and foreclosures, and I didn't know how that works. Are they worth it?
Yes.
Okay, I figured they would be, but I didn't know how you would.
These two houses was actually individual owned. They were just vacant.
Okay.
The last one that I looked at, the quick flip, a guy's brother lived there and he had passed on, so now the brother's settling in the estate and he just wants the house sold. It's been on the market 104 days. They're ready for an offer. And I'm more than prepared to give them one. The other house, I forget, but it was empty, and I know it was individual owned. It's a big old house, but once it's done, it'd be a masterpiece. It's a very nice house. Get rid of all the wallpaper
Kind of like Sammy.
and the crappy carpet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grandma wallpaper.
So that's going to be pretty much it for today, unless you guys got some more questions.
She wants it closer to you. She texted me and said she wanted it closer to you, so you're still there. She's still there. Just no, this one. She's hearing you out of this one.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you very well.
Oh. Okay. You guys got any questions in North Carolina?
I have a page that I've written down that I'll probably ask Lucy, so you can ask Mary if you have anything.
You can ask. I probably don't know the answer.
Okay, well, like, I've written down, what is an axe deal? You
What?
mentioned before an axe.
Axe deals?
The axe, right,
Assignment of contract.
okay,
It's basically when a house is over leveraged. If they owe $110,000 on it and it's only worth 100, you can do a long-term lease option with a tenant buyer. You collect a assignment fee. You assign your lease to a tenant buyer that has more than just a hiccup on their credit. And what I mean by a long-term lease is 120 months, which is 10 years, up to 10 years. The idea behind the axe is it gets a homeowner out of a bad situation. They want to get rid of their home for whatever reason. It puts a tenant buyer in the home that wants to become a homeowner eventually. And
Right.
on that deal, the tenant buyer gets the benefit of paying the mortgage every month because he's paying down the mortgage, and hopefully over a 10-year span, the appreciation is going to go up. So eventually he can get that house financed with little to no money out of his pocket.
okay. That makes sense, okay. And the other things that you know, so I've written to myself, like what you said about make sure a spouse goes with you, so you don't have to show it twice.
Well, I say spouse. I should have said make sure that you get all the decision makers to come look at the home at the same time.
Right. Yeah, that was a surprise that he wasn't there.
And in fact, that sentence is on the appointment script.
Okay. I will
Okay?
Okay, that's all I have. Okay.
Okay, if that's all you got, we're gonna cut this short.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
See you, Lucy.
See you later.
Bye, Lucy. Bye, Kathy.
Bye. Bye-bye.